Hey guys, welcome back to the Affliction of the Heart, Volume 3, Chapter 9. Last time, when I found out about his fall, that was basically the main theme, the main focus on the chapter, because he felt like he needed to do something about it, but he doesn't really need to do anything. But then Kuno brought up his parents, because she thought they were dead, but that didn't happen. I'm talking way too fast. I just want to get into the story, because I'm fucking hyped about it, okay? Alright, still the morning time for me, so let's see what happens. This chapter is called Whipped. I feel like this is gonna entail some bullshit. Anyways, let's hop right into it. Swarm glumly lifted another mouthful of cereal into her mouth, pursing her lips and rubbing at her ear with a free hoof. What's the matter with you? Kuno asked, pricking an ear at her daughter. Swarm mumbled something incoherently around her mouthful. Don't talk with your mouth full, Warden said, pursing his lips and flicking her ear with a hoof as he passed on the way towards the kettle, which was whistling happily on the stove. Swarm gave an indignant huff, staring at her mother. Daddy hit me. I saw, Kuno said early, waving a hoof. You shouldn't have been talking with your mouth full. No, why are you being so gloomy? I don't want to go to school, Storm admitted, frowning down at her cereal. They make me do things I don't want to. I'm afraid you're going to have to get used to it, Kuno said with a thin smile. I bet you didn't even go to school, Storm said flatly. Kuno blinked once, her brow furrowing. How do you figure? Because you're a changeling, Storm said coolly. That I am, Kuno said fiercely, but how do you know I didn't go to school? Because changelings are different, Storm said, picking at her bowl with the spoon. Mommy, why don't I have a queen? Because your queen should be Princess Celestia? Question mark? You don't need a queen. Get out of here. That's a difficult question. Even if in any situation, if she asks if she's a changeling hybrid type of deal and she asks why don't I have a queen? Uh, this is just like a difficult thing to say. Gonna stiffen that slightly at that, her eyes narrowing slowly. Warden paused as well, peering back over his shoulder with interest. You are not part of a hive. You are more pony than changeling, Kuno explained, pursing her lips. I can hear them sometimes, Storm said, with an almost eerie note in her voice. It's like whispering, but it's always really hard to understand. Oh, so she is interconnected with a hive somewhere. Kuno pursed her lips and then nodded gently. Yes, that is the hive. You'll learn to block it out. What if I don't want to block it out? Swarm asked, challengingly staring up at her mother. Swarm, I am your mother, and I am the closest thing you ever have to a queen. I know what is best for you, and you will obey me, understood? Kuno asked, her eyes narrowing slowly. Swarm huffed faintly, her ears playing back. Fine. Look, Swarm, the hive is not something you want to be a part of. It controls you. It makes you do things you don't want to do. It imposes the will of the queen on your consciousness, and I know you're too young to understand. But it's not something you want, Kuno tried to explain, frowning deeply. Storm nodded. I understand. Kuno pursed her lips. You really don't. Imagine being asleep or sleepwalking. You don't really know anything about what you're doing or what's going on, but you're still doing things. Storm wrinkled her nose. That sounds like school. It's a lot worse than school, Kuno said with a single court nod. Storm shrugged her shoulders, little wings giving a flutter. Can I go get my horn removed? Why? Well, what? What? Can I get my horn removed? What? Kuno recoiled slightly at that. Why would you even want such a thing? Because I'm different, Swarm said, chewing on her tongue slightly. Everyone looks at me differently at school. I sort of stare. I don't like it. That's true. I still feel like you should just be treated as an alicorn. Just saying. Even though you're part changeling. Kuno pursed her lips again. Well, you're just going to have to learn to deal with it. Do I have to go to school? Storm asked, giving a faint sigh. Whine. I don't want them to stare. Kuno gave a long sigh, shaking her slowly. Not good enough. Swarm's bottom lip quivered and her eyes began to well up with tears. Stay strong, hun, Warden said conversationally, pouring a measure of hot water into a cup. Kuno pursed her lips, but biting her tongue, the length of blue flesh clenched between her teeth as she bounced slightly on her heels. But... Yeah, Swarm, come on. Just deal with it. Luckily for me, I'm the sort of guy that just blends in, so no one really stares at me unless I have my hair sticking out, but I just blend in. I feel bad for Swarm. I feel bad for kids that just stick out, sort of random. Anyways, Swarm gave a faint whine, bottom lip quivering further, her eyes growing large and naive. But mommy, I don't want to go. Kuno gave a huff, flailing for her. Fine, but just for today. Swarm broke into a bright smile instantly. Yay! So what are we doing? Taking a trip to visit your father's parents, Kuno said immediately. What is different? His ears flamed back. We are? Kuno raised a brow. Do you have anything better to do? Breathing. I was planning on scratching myself a bit later. Warden, what the fuck? He does not want to do that. Do you have anything better to do? Breathing. I was planning on scratching myself a bit later on. Warden said with a firm nod. So I'm a bit busy to go to Cloudsdale. Kuno, the best reaction ever. I love it. Kuno pursed her lips at that, her ears narrowing to her husband. We both know I'm going to convince you, she said bluntly, so shut up and accept it before I impose no touching rules for an arbitrary length of time. You really underestimate the depths of my hate for my father, Warden said bluntly. Swarm stared back and forth between them like a spectator at an air show. More than you like touching? Kuno asked coyly. Warden bit his tongue and then looked back and forth between Swarm and Kuno. Will the puppy dog eyes work? No, Kuno said flatly. And if you don't go, I will go. As you and I will reconcile so perfectly that we will come to dinner tonight. Wait, what? No, Kuno said flatly. And if you don't go, I will go as you and I will reconcile so perfectly that we'll come to dinner tonight. Yeah. It's like it's like they're happy together, but also she has the ability to just turn into you. It's probably like basically she can just force you to do what she wants. Warden played his ears back, giving a long sigh, his wings drooping. Well, fine. Good boy. Now show me that you're whipped, Kuno said, holding out her hoof. Warden sighed heavily and leaned down to kiss her hoof gently. They're happy. Immensely, Kuno said with a smile. Oh, wait, Kuno's in the middle of this. I mean, Swarm is in the middle of this. I wonder what she thinks. Well, at least I get something for enduring. Well, I at least get something for enduring this torturous day, Warden asked plaintively. I'll give you a goodnight kiss, Kuno offered with a grin. Deal, Warden said, leaning in to peck her on her on the nose. This is so adorable, honestly. I'm happy for these fucking two. Wonder what Storm thinks about that whole situation she just watched in front of her. That's how her parents get along, but it's fucking adorable. Kuno and her Pegasus swarm. Warden and Swarm all sat in the train compartment, watching out the window as the floating city of Cloudsdale loomed larger and larger on the horizon. Wait, does can the train go to Cloudsdale? That's a question I want answered. Does the train go to Cloudsdale? Because that city is in the fucking sky. Like, how the fuck does that thing get up there? Probably goes into a fucking tunnel that has a portal in it. Freaking guessing. How does it all stay up there? How does it all stay up in the air? What Swarm asked, staring down. Does it have wings? Kuno could go at that. No, hun. It floats on clouds. Like Pegasus can float on the clouds? Swarm asked. Kuno nodded exactly like that. Will I be able to float on the clouds? Swarm asked silently. Warden gave a worried frown. That's a very good question, actually. Kuno gave a soft tongue. Well, I can float on the clouds, and she's half me and half you, so she should be able to, right? Yeah, she should be able to. I can't even fly yet, Swarm whined, lifting her hoof to tug her wing until it was outstretched. How could I float on the clouds? They're all fluffy and soft like candy. A soft whine left Kuno. Now I want cotton candy. It's soft like cotton candy. And I want not to be the only adult in this family, Warden said dryly. Kuno's eyes narrowed and she cuffed him with an outstretched wing. Liar, you're just as much of a child as I am. Warden rubbed at the back of his head, chagrined. At least I can hide it. Kuno raised her wing threateningly. Warden huffed, holding up his good hoof to fend her off. Fine, we're all children. How are we getting to Cloudsdale? Someone asked after a few moments. It's so high up and I can't fly. Warden nodded once. I can't fly either, he pointed out. We're taking the sky staircase. What? What's that? Storm asked. It's a staircase into the sky, Warden offered with a faint shrug. I've never used it before. Is there just a freaking staircase that just goes into the sky? How does that work? Why would they even make a staircase into the sky? Storm asked blankly. It's stupid. Because not every pony can fly, Warden said with a shrug. There are floating platforms up there that can support an earth pony or a unicorn. But with no way to get up there, they're pointless. Storm shrugged. Still silly. Every pony that lives in Cloudsdale can fly. They're all Pegasus. Kuno raised a brow slowly. No, they're not. There's a unicorn healer, an earth pony who likes to go really high altitude flowers that I know of at the top of my head. But why would they live where Pegasus are supposed to live? Swarm asked blankly. That's silly. Swarm, this is the problem with you. You think That everybody has the right place, but everybody chooses where they want to live. Well, your father lives in a cottage, doesn't he? He even wondered why he doesn't live in the clouds, Kuno asked. Storm wrinkled her nose, looking back and forth helplessly. Because Daddy grows things, and things don't grow in clouds, they grow in dirt. So why wouldn't a unicorn be able to do something in the clouds? Kuno asked simply. Yeah, bitch. Yeah. Get taught. Get taught by your mother. Storm huffed faintly, rubbing at an ear with her hoof. I guess you're right, but wouldn't it be all scary if you can just step wrong and fall? Very scary, Kuno said with her single nod. That's why not many ponies do it. Pegasus have it easy, Storm said with a smile. Because they can fly, and I'm gonna be able to fly too, and sit on the cloud and watch everybody else who can't fly. I feel like this is a bad. I feel like she's having like a little bit of a god complex going on with her. Kuno gave a faint giggle. That's one of the joys of being a winged creature. I'm not a creature. I'm a pony. Storm protested with a hoof. Actually, we're both. You're a changeling and a pony. Okay, so you're in the middle. We're all creatures, gonna say with a shrug. Just some of us can talk. Storm wrinkled her nose. I'm not interested in what's the word, mommy? Semantics when offered. Those simmy things. Storm said with a huff. Those simmy things. It's so adorable. I love this. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. The carriage jolted as the train started to slow down, and the brakes squealed from the strain of slowing the inertia. Another jolt happened as the train came to a halt, causing our 3 ponies to sway in tandem. Can we get drinks? Storm asked, jumping to her hooves. I want drinks. Yes, we can get drinks, Kuno said with a shake of her head. Kuno? Warden asked, pausing at the doorway. Yes? Kuno asked sweetly. Warden leaned closer, his ears playing back. I don't want to sound mean or anything, but can you forgo the collar just this once? Why? Why? What's wrong with the collar? Like, what? Oh, it says property of Warden, doesn't it? Ah, I forgot about that. Does it say property? Is this like the marriage collar, or is it just a collar that has her name all around it? That's what I want to know. That. Kuno's hooves flew to her neck as she frowned deeply. But it's my collar. My parents might get the wrong idea, Warden said with a slight wince. Well, I'll correct them. It's a fashion statement about the commercialization of the personalization of a pony, and we're all trapped by the existential nature of capitalism, Kuno said smugly. What? Warden frowned for a long moment and then gave a helpless shrug. That's just confusing enough that no one will bother asking you anything about it. That's the point, Kuno said with a wink and a grin, kissing his nose gently. Now, to the staircase. You have many thousands of steps to climb while I fly alongside you, teasing all the way. But you gotta walk up ahead of me so I can stare at your butt and have a target to reach when wind. Well, tough, Kuno said with a giggle. I don't feel like a workout. Warden gave a long suffering sigh. Well, I want to catch a glider down at least. You have to take Storm with you, Kuno cautioned. No way I'm letting her into one of those contraptions alone. Very well, Warden said with a wrinkled nose. But if you scream, Swarm, then no ice cream after dinner. Not even a little screaming, Storm asked, starting with sad eyes. Aww. Staring with sad eyes. Okay, how does Storm feel about this grown-up talk? This is like literally bothering me. Like, I feel like she should be awkward around them, but she just accepts it because that's how this shows like they love each other. Alright, Warden bit his bottom lip and then gave a long sigh. It's terrifying how like your mother you are. Storm giggled and poked out her tongue, prancing away. Yeah, mother like daughter. Sometimes it's worse, but you know, it's like mother like daughter. The staircase, or the stairway of Cloudsdale was really more of a highway than a staircase. A staircase, at least 10 ponies wide, had been erected, made of a kind of glowing magical material that shimmered and shifted in color from clear to every color of the rainbow. Along either side of the staircase were conveyor belts carrying large minecart-like containers shipping necessities up to Cloudsdale. Thankfully, only a strip in the center of the staircase was stationary. There was just a conveyor on either side of the staircase, but specifically for pony transport. One just assumed that the staircase portion of the highway was for masochists. I never even figured out how to say that word. Masochists, you know, those people that like getting hurt. This isn't nearly as fun as I had hoped, Kuno admitted, sitting down on the conveyor belt and watching the clouds approaching. You mean you don't get to watch me sweat? Warden asked bluntly. I like watching you sweat, Kuno said with a slow smile, leaning in to nibble at the base of his ear and then going softly. I like licking it too. I like licking it clean too. Warden gave a faint shiver, his wings rustling. So, I'll walk then, he offered with a thumbing grin. Maybe on the way down, Kuno suggested, humming thoughtfully. We could get Swarm her own private compartment. My own whole compartment? Swarm has bouncing silently in place. Warden automatically reached a hoof over to grasp his daughter's shoulder. No bouncing, you'll fall off. Swarm huffed and pursed her lips. Never allowed to have any fun. Fun does not involve bodily harm, Warden cautioned. You're so cute when you're serious, Kuno said with a grin, licking Warden's ear. You should be more serious with me than you hit me, Warden complained. Wait, you should be more serious with me than you hit me, Warden complained. Oh, grow up, fool, Kuno said, cuffing him with her wing. What? I'm getting so confused when I'm reading half the time, but it's still adorable as fuck. Oh my god. After 15 long minutes of sitting on their butts, the conveyor belt ended, and they could all step off into the clouds of Cloudsdale. Swarm passed at the very edge of the platform, placing a hoof down against the cloud, testing it. Both Warden and Kuno held one of her wings each. A faint hum left the little hybrid, and then she bounded forwards, swirling about in the cloud happily. It's so soft. Warden just shook his head, and Kuno giggled. She's having fun. That's adorable still. It's just so many adorable things happening. The 10 minutes of walking brought them to the Wonderbolt's personal training ground. A huge structure made entirely of clouds dominated one end of Cloudsdale. It was oblong in shape, like a bread roll, with a flat structure sticking out from the front of it that housed the Wonderbolts themselves. Warden knew already that the structure was almost entirely hollow. The entirety of the inside of the cylindrical shape was devoted to a wind tunnel. The personal training room of the Wonderbolts. At one end of the wind tunnel was a giant fan propelled by magic and spinning too slowly to cause much harm, but powerful enough to cause a wind that had strength enough to send the unprepared tumbling right out of the tunnel and into the cloud bank behind. This is where your mommy and daddy live, Daddy? Swarm asked, amazed. Well, where they work, Warden said, rubbing a hoof against his ear nervously. Sure, about the collar, Sure, about the collar, hun. Which collar is it? She has like 3 collars, if I know. She got the marriage collar, she got like a brand new collar that one time when they were in Canterlot. And she got she probably has the original one. Kuno gave a nod, I'm certain. Warden took a deep breath and then gave a long shake of exhalation. Well, sure we can't just go and drink some alcohol and forget this whole business. Warden, you have your daughter with you, you don't... No. Kuno gave a low growl and then pushed him with her hooves. No? Now you walk in there and face your parents like a good little whipped fool. Damn. Warden whined faintly, his ears playing back. Fine, but you're paying me back for this. Kuno gave a wry grin at that. If you're a good boy, I'll let you wear the collar tonight. That's more of a punishment, Warden pointed out, his cheeks flushing faintly. Okay then, go in there or I'll put the collar on you tonight, Kuno said with a faint smile. With a sweet smile. Fine. Warden I'm getting tired. Fine, Warden huffed, stalking towards the door. But when this goes south, I get to say I told you so. The end. Ah, can't wait. Next chapter, family reunions. I'm going to read that right now, actually. Hopefully I don't pause in the middle of it. Thank you for watching. Don't you guys. That's it, guys. In the next video. Goodbye.
100,000 stories have filled my head as I look for the answers in what I've read. Secretly waiting for my life to change.